Hello. Welcome back to another episode on the. Do you know what, I say that every time? Welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server, and I never think of anything else to say. I guess that's just my way of starting things off. So yeah, first of all, I'm going to show you what I've been up to in between episodes. We've finished the house here, and there's quite a lot of detail that I've added to this. Well, not a lot, but some important details. So first of all, these little fence posts up the top here, I feel like they really just give it an extra bit of shape on the front, and that looks almost finished now. I feel like maybe I need to do one or two more things here. I've also changed the stone bricks on the sides and made a proper entrance here. It appears that I forgot to put the doors in. I think that was one of the last things that I had to do. So this looks real cozy and finished now. We've put some redstone lamps underneath the light pots, the plant pots, and the lighting in here is really nice. Now, I didn't bring them with me, did I? Ah, okay, I'm going to regret doing this, but these paintings are really weird. They bounce around all over the place, and had a really hard time putting these four down in a row. See that one jumped up there, and then it moves over here. Let's just do that again. Okay, that one didn't jump around, but basically they just jump all over the place while you're trying to press them. And what you want to do is just stand here and click and then remove if it's not the one that you want, and then it flies halfway across the room, which is just weird. And I think it's because of these stairs. They got that thing now where if you throw an item on the bottom of it, it should bounce around like that. You kind of see it bouncing there. Nope, it's too far away. I think the items are grouping up now. Well, you can kind of see it in action. If you put two stairs together in a row, you can really see what's going on. Anyway, I'll fix that later. There it goes, flying around again. So we put in this little table here. In the middle of that, I put some upside down stairs, so you can just see it's got something connecting to the ground. I decided to leave the fireplace in. It has no function, but I don't know, it just looks nice like that, so I thought I'd leave it in there anyway. I don't think I've done anything much over here or up the top as well. I did put in lights on the ceiling. You can see some there. Now the whole ceiling is lit up and nothing will spawn up there, which is good. I think the only downside to this is when you look out of here, you've got one of the lamps right next to you. You can see the lever as well, which is a little unfortunate, but that is this house finished. Let's throw an ender pearl and have another look at it from the side. I think it looks really good. The only thing I'm a little disappointed with is the lamps and the levers on top. I think one of the next houses that we build, we should try and find a different way of doing that. That might involve having half slabs in the entire roof level so that nothing can spawn in it, and then maybe hiding the lamps like underneath it, so we have like two layers on our roof, so the one on the outside is different from the inside. But enough babbling about that. I've done a couple of other things, so I'm just going to try and remember what they are and I can show you. So have a look around. Do you see anything different? Yeah, that's right. I've removed all of the wall blocks. They really started to get on my nerves after a while. Everywhere I looked, there's always just these random wall blocks in the sky, so I finally decided to remove them. And what I've also done is prepared this area for working on this episode, but we actually have to do a change of plans. So I'm going to tell you what we get up to in a moment, but I was attempting to finish this off, and I think this is going to take a long time because I don't like this bit here, and I feel like the way I've laid things out just doesn't give me much flexibility to change this to what I want to do, but I do have a couple of ideas, and when we get round to doing that, hopefully that'll work. And the lights off in there, they are. Okay, so that's active at the moment. We can see some mobs going through it. So I've removed the rest of the XP farm, or what it was, and I haven't fixed this thing yet. That's something we're going to have to do this episode. But what someone suggested in the comments on a previous episode was to build a tower here, and I think that could really go in well. I was thinking of like a mossy cobblestone tower, maybe like a bit of a building at the bottom, and then hide that in all of the jungle woods, and then that would be our XP farm. The tube would go all the way to the top, and then back down again, and that would be all inside the XP farm itself. Sorry, inside the tower. But like I said, we're not going to be working on this episode. What we're going to be doing this time round. Sorry about the random edit there. Sometimes I get really tongue-tied and I think it's just best to cut and record again. So I was explaining what we're going to do this episode, and we are going to be working on this project again for the arena. Now, a couple of episodes ago, I Am Spoon, Monkey Farm, Cube Hamster and Red Eyes, they came down and checked out the arena with me, and it was a lot of fun. We had a really good time, and now a lot of other hermits are keen to come down here and check it out as well. So next weekend we're going to be doing the same thing. So I think it's a good idea that we just put our other projects on hold and try and expand the facilities of this thing, because there are some limitations that we reached last time when we tested it out. And I also think just dropping them all down into the arena is fun when you first do it, but that will get boring quickly. So we need to make some sort of challenge here. So what I was thinking is that rather than all fighting the mobs at the same time, we like fight maybe 2 or 3 at a time, and these guys have potions and armor and stuff, and they can get progressively harder. So we can set a bunch of parameters, like we can set up a certain amount of armor and potions for each level, and then one by one the hermits can take it on and see how far they can get along the challenge. So this means we're going to have to expand the amount of mobs that we can get into here. And last time we kind of reached the physical limitation of using passive mobs, because when they come from the mob spawner they're part of the overall mob cap. Now if they were to come from a mob cage, then they wouldn't be part of that, and we could get as many mobs down here as we liked. So I've done a lot of caving in the past, and I've written down the locations of any zombie spawners that I found, and I've got a feeling they're going to be quite a way away from here. But it does mean if we connect it up that we can go sit at that spawner, activate it, and send tons of mobs all the way over here. I realise that means I've got to build another one. No, actually, sorry, I just started thinking about something that doesn't even matter, so ignore what I just said. That should be fairly simple to build that and hook it up. It will probably just take a long time, and then once we've done that, I do have some plans to change some of the facilities in here. Let's just pop down. Now this first room that we built is completely useless because, well, you do have to come in here and pick up the items because they fall through, but in the next room we have one of those anyway. You see, it goes all the way through and then back round here, and I think the only reason we could actually justify having 2 rooms is if I needed to contain some mobs in here and give some items to the ones still in the other area. So I'll probably leave it like that for now. But what we want to expand is, and I'm going to break into the tunnel here because I can't be, oh, it's open anyway. Yeah, what we want to expand is this thing down the ends. Now if you didn't see the video of all the hermits in the arena, I built this in between episodes, and what it is a really simple way to group up mobs. So you've got a bunch of pistons here that extend the glass, and then what you do is you get all of your mobs into the first bit, and then you come along here and you hit that, and you let the second group of mobs build up, and then you can contain them like that in this little area. So we want to expand this. I'm not sure if there's any real innovations we can make here in terms of using a different method from the pistons, but what we should do is expand this around the corner so it goes all the way up the side there, and then that gives us plenty of space to work with, and we can store lots of little groups of 2 to 3 mobs. So that's the plan, and the first thing I'm going to do is find the closest zombie spawner. I've got that list like I said, and just before we start that I've got one more thing to talk about, which is the double Hermitcraft upload. I want to say thank you to all of you for your support. It was really good to see how many people were on board with the idea, and a few people didn't like it and they made their voices heard, which is important, and I appreciate those people letting me know their opinions as well. And I think what we'll do is perhaps do double upload every other week or something like that, because it was fun to do it like that, and you guys really supported me, which means a lot, because lately I've been feeling like I should change my attitude towards doing these Minecraft videos. Now for a while I put a lot of emphasis on doing daily videos, and that can be a real strain to keep coming up with stuff, and the fun was kind of being taken out of it. So I thought that what I would do now is just focus on doing Hermitcraft, myth busting. I really enjoy that, and I'll probably put projects like learning Feed the Beast on hold, although I am looking really forward to doing some more on Feed the Beast. But I'm just going to focus on Hermitcraft and having fun, and I'm also going to start my Doom series back up. I found some more levels and stuff to play on that, and that's a game that I just really enjoy. So mainly I'm going to focus around having fun and stop prioritising doing daily videos, which should mean in general the quality of the videos that I do increase, because it means I have a lot more time to play Hermitcraft now. And look at that Enderman over there stealing my grass blocks. Let's kill him. So yeah, what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh man, he's gone over there now. And he's on fire. Yes, there was one more thing I wanted to say and I've completely forgotten. So that was actually about all I wanted to say. I just touched on how I'd have more time to play Hermitcraft before that Enderman distracted me, and that's a good thing, because at the moment I kind of have a certain amount of time to record with because I'm doing daily videos, and it means that I just have to focus around one project at a time and try and get as much done as I can within that time frame. And doing things differently and not doing daily videos means I have more time to play on Hermitcraft, and perhaps we can do some bigger projects, which would be cool, because I've always got lots of ideas for like big projects and stuff, but we can never really put them into action. Although this one here is a great project. I'm really pleased we decided to do that and build the arena and the dungeons as well. So yeah, anyway, right, let's find that list of zombie spawners and find the closest one. So I'm on my way to the, well, it's not the closest spawner, but I'll explain more about that later. But the one that we're going to be using, I'm heading towards now. And as I went to dig down, I've just found this pocket of air like this, which is really strange. I have seen this somewhere before, but I thought I'd just turn on the camera and show you that quickly. So I had a choice between two mob spawners. I've chosen one off in that direction, which I actually wasn't going to choose. There's one that's closer over there. And the reason I was going to choose that one first of all is because this one would have been at a diagonal to where I wanted to connect it. But then I realised that we've got this tube already here, so what we can do is connect that one to this one over here. So I've chosen the mob spawner over there. I've built the trap. I've also built the tunnel, which has taken me a long time to get it over to here. And at the moment it's sort of come up to the mob spawner, and now I've got to figure out how I'm going to get the mobs around the side. So this is it down here. I'll go down and show you the basic pattern for how I've done this. So all the way at the end of that tunnel is the mob trap. And one thing I've realised now is that loaded chunks could be a problem, because I'm going to be sending tons and tons of mobs out of here, but when they get to this kind of area, this is probably all going to be unloaded because I'm standing next to the mob spawner. So it might be a little bit tricky. I do have a second account that I could log on with and leave AFK over here, so this bit is loaded as well, but I'll do some tests on that and see how it goes. So anyway, very basic stuff. We've got the water stream ending here, then we have our stairs with a water source block above it, so if I'm a mob you'll see I'll get pushed along like that. I'm sure you've seen that before. So at this point here we need to go up and turn to the right a bit as well, because I miscalculated. I thought this thing was going to come out further over that direction, closer to the tunnel as well, so I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. I'll figure out a way. It shouldn't be too difficult, but we're going to send them up here, and then at some point they're going to go over into this bit. And I'm just wondering how I should go about doing that, because obviously we've got to come out of the ground at some point to meet up with this bit, so there's going to be something, whoa, something visual going on here at least. Where did this guy come from? I tell you what, it's where I've been doing all this terraforming. I've probably forgotten to put down some torches. Good thing I saw that guy anyway. So yeah, what I might do is make this kind of part of this area. We're doing a little tower thing here maybe, or doing something with jungle trees, and perhaps we could make a little glass walkway where you can see the mobs coming through, although thinking about it, that's kind of pointless because they're going to come from the mob spawner, so when I'm over there collecting mobs you're not going to see it over here, if you know what I mean. So that's actually probably pointless. I'll do something quite subtle instead, I think. I've also added this pumpkin dispenser back in. This is ever so simple, and you just saw it there. It despawned and dispensed 2, which is the problem that I'm having. I think I made it a little more complicated than it needed to be last time. All you need to do is run a signal background to the dispenser itself, and this can actually be on or off. You don't really need the torch, but the problem that I'm having is that it always dispenses 2 items, so at some point I'm going to have to fix that and make it so it only dispenses 1, which I think will involve a monostable circuit, but we've got a lot more important things to do first. Okay, this is all finished now. I need to replace these blocks with wood though. That's the one last thing I do need to do, and then I'm going to go back over to the zombie spawner and tidy that up, but otherwise I think that'll work. If I stand AFK over there, they should all come round to this point over here. So let's go down there and I'll show you what it is I've done. And by the way, I absolutely love using ice. It beats carrying a bucket around so much, because you can just place it down and then break it and you've got water. So yeah, you can see what's going on here. I can't seem to get out of this bit. Now that hole there is very important, because when the mobs come into this bit here, what they'll do is they'll hit this water and then they'll stop moving and hit their head on this bit here. So by having the water flowing, we're going to continue pushing them in that direction. So down the bottom there, that's where we got as far as we got when we were building the tunnel last time. So I've just brought it over this way a little bit, then gone over here, and that's where we go up into the mob elevator. Okay, that is that bit there tidied up. This looks good. And I was just thinking about the lighting. We've got a lot of random torches on top of this, so I think what I might do at some point is put in some redstone lamps every so often and then power them with a lever. And do you know what, I'd really like to find out a way of just powering a redstone lamp with something that's a lot more subtle that you can't notice. And yeah, I think there's a way using minecarts, which is kind of a bug. You can sort of power it, but then if it gets updated it will unpower. So I don't know. Another thing we could do is just put the levers on the inside so that in the tube where the zombies are, and then you wouldn't be able to see it from the outside. But now that we've done that, I think we need to test it. I also need to go back over to the zombie spawner. Well, to test it we obviously do, but I need to put in a pumpkin thing. I haven't made one of those yet, and I haven't been into the nether for ages, so we should do that and see how many how many pumpkins we get from our farm. One thing about this nether hub is the amount of portals just makes loads of noise. I have to turn down my speakers each time, and that is interesting. No pumpkins, so I'm going to assume that something is broken. Let's go through and see what's going on. Okay, yeah, all of the pistons are extended. Let's go down and have a look. Why did that stop working? Did we run out of items in our dispenser? Yes, that would be it. I've forgotten to refill it. Okay. So this is the zombie spawner over here, and the other side of that wall is a cave spider spawner, and I've got a feeling they're able to spawn in here, because when I was setting up this room I knocked out one of the torches and yeah, one spawned and attacked me, but I haven't seen one spawn in here since, although we've still got these two torches to remove and this one here. But round the corner is where I've added in the dispenser. I didn't really think about this first of all, so I just got to put a block of ice the other side of this, and the wiring for this, I mean, the more and more you do this you just think of simpler and simpler ways to do this, but if you just put a redstone torch directly underneath the dispenser it has the same effect as running the wire around. So I pick up those, and I didn't really want to pick that up. Okay, so when they get picked up, let's see if we can do that. There you go, it dispenses another two, so we still got to figure out the thing. Why did I do that? I want to put those in there. Okay, so now anyway we can break these blocks and let the zombies flow through. And I was thinking about putting a nether portal down here as well, but that's something I'll do in the future, because lately everything's kind of been revolved around the hell? Where did he come from? Came from behind me. Ah. So as I was trying to say, everything's been revolved around getting things ready for when people come down here to use the arena. So we'll all go back to all of these projects and make them look a lot nicer at some point. Appears that I have... The hell? Is that actually... oh, there's one on the other side. Okay, I didn't see that. There we go. Right, we need to get the hell out of here now. And there's that cave spider. So they can spawn in here. Come on, let's use an ender pearl. Oh, damn it. There we go. Okay, we're safe. Let's just put that there. So yeah, at some point I'll put another portal here and come back and put a nice glass window on the side. But we're going to do a test now, so I'm going to stand here and AFK, and I didn't patch that up, did I? Of course I didn't. Let's kill these guys and put that there. And I didn't put my ice in, so let's do that. Make sure we do a proper test. Go away. No, I've done that wrong as well, haven't I? Oh, okay, give me a moment. Okay, there we go. I fixed up all of that. We've got the water on top of the pressure plate and the sign the other side, so that's all fixed. They're going through with ease, and the problem I'm having at the moment is there's loads of spiders gathering in there, and so we're going to have to do something that I hate to do, and there's actually another one of these spawners around here somewhere, but these farms are kind of redundant now, so I don't mind destroying this, but that's going to cause me a lot of problems, so see you later. And the XP is stuck up there. So I think that's enough testing for now. What we're going to do is block this off and then give them a bit of time to head down the tube, because we're going to follow them down there, and what I'm hoping to see is that there'll be a big group of them where they've gone into the unloaded chunks. If we don't see that, then I don't know what's happening. I've got no idea really what to expect. That's just my guess. Also, while I was standing here AFK, I noticed that my helmet had been destroyed and my armor's taken a real beating again. So next time I go to the Enderman farm, I think I'm going to make myself some armor with protection 3 and protection 2, because what I found with this is that you hardly take any damage at all and you regen pretty much at the same pace that you can take damage, so there is no real need for the armor. It just absorbs all the damage like that. So if we have it slightly lower, it means I'm going to take more damage and lose more health, but then the armor lasts longer. At least that's my logic in it. So anyway, I'm going to wait for a little bit longer. I'll give it about 2 or 3 more minutes and then we're going to head down the tunnel. Okay, that should do. Let's head down here. I really have no idea what to expect. It looks like they're kind of backed up, possibly. This is actually what I didn't want to see. I wanted to get down to a point and see if I could see them all in a group. So maybe this was the wrong thing to do. Let's kill a couple of these guys as we go through. Okay, there is still a lot of them. And oh look, just up there, I think I can see a big group. So let's just kill these few. Come on, come on. A little bit faster. That looks like... What's going on here? It looks like I've forgotten to place down an ice block. That can't be right, surely not. Wow, look how many made it down here as well. Okay, some made it up to the next bit. Oh, that's so silly that I missed that. Okay. Oh, we've got it now. Still not sure. Looks like there's 3 of them here. Maybe the rest kept on going. Okay, that appears to be it, doesn't it? So I think somewhere around here was where the unloaded chunks are, and it just so happened that I forgot to place an ice block at the same place. I think we should do that test again, and this time when I block off the spawner I'm going to give them a lot more time to head up here. Okay, this time I gave it a fair amount of time, and when I headed up here I could see where the chunks hadn't loaded, and then I went a little bit further and all of these guys were here. Now they weren't bundled up in a group, although it was quite difficult to tell what was going on. But one thing is for sure is that they were here in the unloaded chunks and it isn't giving us any problems. So I'm just going to follow these guys around, make sure they go through the motivator, and then head down to our collection area and see how many of them we have. Okay, here we go. Oh, you can see there's quite a few of them making their way down here. Yeah, here it is. Oh, that is a lot. That is more than enough. Well, for now anyway. Let's press F3, see if that gives us any hint. At least 45 of them down there, and there's more on the way in. So I think what I should do now... Hey look how many of them have got items as well. That's rather strange. A lot of them have got iron shovels. And some of them have cobblestone as well. I wonder where they got the iron shovels from, because the ones that spawn holding items usually don't have the ability to actually pick them up, so that is quite strange. So earlier in the video I talked about expanding this area here, and that's what I've done. There's not much to it really, other than all these pistons lying down. We can extend like this. But next time we do an event at the arena, I'd rather have it so that the players fight a small group of mobs on their own, and then those groups get increasingly more difficult. So we can do that by letting 3 or 4 come through to this bit and then closing it off, and then we can store lots of groups of mobs. So when I'm hosting an event I can come up here and keep reloading them, so I can unleash a group like this and then they'll go through into the dispenser where I can put some potions in there and then give them items as well. And then there's not much else to this really, is there? It's pretty self-explanatory. So this goes all the way up here, and look, we can store a lot of groups of mobs in here, although I haven't counted them to find out how many in total. But even if it's not enough for what I want to do, once this one here is closed, we also have more of them back here as well, technically speaking, because we can use these 2 levers as well to keep a group of mobs here. And then we've even got the containment area as well. So what I plan on doing next is filling that all up, getting them in groups of 3 or 4. I'll probably go for 4. I think that'll be more interesting. They look so derpy. And look, it looks like a group of them have gathered in one spot there as well. So this guy down the end here has reminded me that I've forgotten to give them all swords. So here's another problem. I've got loads of swords down in the arena, and it would take me quite a few trips to bring them back up here to the dispensers. So what I'm thinking of doing next, and I really don't want to do it because it will take longer to do than it will to take a few trips, but it's something we need to set up for the future, is build a little minecart track so we have a way of sending chests back up here for when we're done with them in the arena, which is going to be ever so useful. So I think it's a good idea to get that done now. Okay, that took longer than expected, and I made a ton of pad rails, so I didn't really think about how many it would actually take. It seems like you go a long distance when you're digging because you spend all of that time digging, which takes, you know, a fair amount of time, and then when you walk it back after you've made the tunnel, it's actually really short. So it just goes around the corner here, and then along here to the end, which is just there. So what I'm going to do now is test this. Obviously I've also wired up this, so we've got a button there and then that powers that. So I'm going to make myself a minecart with a chest in it, and just for aesthetical reasons I want to put a half slab there, and then you can reach in and place it in, fill it up, and then send it on its way. Okay, so I got all the items back. Had to make a few modifications here though because I didn't do the rails right, but now the chests are going to make their way up here, which they have done. I've put all the items that we got from those in these chests, and now all there is really left to do is just prepare all of this for when everyone comes down to the arena. So I've got to give all of these guys swords and move them around into the next area, which I've talked about already, and I'm not going to do that on camera. I think I'll do that in between this episode and the next one. Hopefully I'll have some good stuff to show you from when we get together at the arena, but that might be a bit difficult because I'll mostly be behind the scenes refilling dispensers and stuff like that. And he's just shot one of those guys. Do you know what? Take that. So I'll be doing all of that off camera, and what I've just realised is I got it stuck in my head that I needed to do all of that as soon as possible for when people came down to the arena, but I actually have a whole week before that happens, and I've got time to record another Hermitcraft episode as well, so we didn't actually need to do all of that straight away, but it's done now, so that's no problem at all, and I've got plenty of time to load up the mob and the, I don't know what that thing is called, with the pistons and all the glass. We've got plenty of time to load that up and get it ready. So next episode won't be the arena because of that. It might be a couple of episodes before you get to see some of the footage from that, and I'm not sure if I will upload anything because I'm mostly going to be running back and forth refilling the dispensers and getting the arena ready, so it might not be the best kind of footage for your entertainment, but we'll see what happens anyway. And as for Double Hermitcraft, that was a success in my opinion. Seemed like you guys really liked the idea of it and wanted to help support the channel. So I think what we might do is just make Saturdays a double upload day, but I'll probably give that a miss this Saturday. I'll need some time to adjust because, you know, to do 2 episodes instead of 1 you need to do a little bit of time management and just make sure you can get it done, because it's kind of like recording one, except, you know, I split it up into 2 parts, do something different in each one, and overall I need more time because obviously the 2 combined are a bit longer, but it's doable and it's quite fun to do as well, and I really do appreciate all of your support. And I just wanted to say again that if you want to like this video, that's much appreciated because it does support the channel and help me out, and I think I might do a video on that soon about how YouTube works so you guys understand it more, because I've done a few talky videos on Thursdays. That's when we have like a more obscure episode of Hermitcraft if I do that, so maybe I'll do one of those soon as well and explain to you how it all works and why it's important and stuff like that. But anyway, we're just gonna kill this zombie pigman because he's been annoying me. So thanks for watching. Oh, and I'll catch you next time.